Hi, Anthony Asquith at Affinity Training. I hope you're well. Thanks for taking a look at this short blog. My question to you today is, what makes relationships work? Now, people have told me, many people have told me since I've been doing this investigating, that a whole range of factors need to take place. There's expectations of, for example, people being kind, people being friendly, people being caring, sharing, honest, being able to communicate openly, taking time together, sharing energy, sharing ideas, passion. There's a whole range of different nominalizations that will be used by people to describe what it is they think make relationships work. What I think makes relationships work is chemistry. Now, you've heard of the phrase bad blood. What does that, I wonder, make you think about? Probably bad blood might suggest that there's ill feeling between you and another party or people you know. What's behind that? Well, if you think about it, what exists in bad blood are two chemicals, cortisol and noradrenaline. These are commonly linked to the fight or flight responses. And when you feel threatened or fearful or angry towards another person, these are the chemicals that occur within your blood in the form of hormonal messengers. Hence the phrase bad blood. But on a wider question of what makes relationships work and chemistry, what do you get when you have a combination of connection, kindness, compassion, belief, energy, understanding in a relationship? Another set of chemicals occur. One of the particular chemicals is dopamine. For example, when you first meet someone, your baseline cortisol level rises slightly because you have energy. And as you get to talk to them, share ideas, ask them where they're from, who they work for, who you know, who they know, perhaps things that you have in common, whether it's a hobby, whether it's some leisure interests, whether it's a job you have together. Gradually, what starts to happen is a chemical known as dopamine. Dopamine is produced, and dopamine is linked to curiosity, arousal, interest. That then seems to suggest that you and I as individuals have a common world, things we share in common. Sometimes even we have things that are diverse and opposite, which we find interesting within each other. Now, as this connection and collaboration, our sense of that increases, at a chemical level, our brain then introduces a whole range of new other cocktails, including endorphins, and one of the really significantly important chemicals, oxytocin. Now, oxytocin has been branded as the ultimate connection chemical, and it's where people spend time together, get on well together, share interests, have an understanding of each other, have trust, have faith, are able to communicate properly together. Oxytocin at a chemical level is the messenger that binds them together. And so when things in relationships become tough or difficult, it's this blend of oxytocin, endorphins that make us feel good. It's the credibility and the connection that binds that through thick and thin. And how is it that oxytocin gets produced? What are the factors that make this happen? And my work really revolves around this. So chemical connection comes through what I like to term affinity, which you probably have noticed is the kind of brand I have. And how does this come about? Well, as I said, it's through understanding. And there are a whole range of behavioural psychology models out there that help you understand human nature, human behaviour. I use a system which is referred to as DISC. You have people who are dominant, the D style, the people who are inspired, the I style, people who are sensitive, the S style, and people who are cautious, the C style, hence the DISC acronym. Now, when you meet people who are dominant, they have energy which is often what we would term outgoing and very task driven. They like to get stuff done. And importantly for them is that they have you as an individual to help them. They don't want to do everything themselves. They want to control. They want to pursue a project, a goal, an ambition, and they will do it with force, energy, and determination. And when they communicate with you, they're not going to fall in love with you. Let's be fair. They communicate often very directly and will question you, will raise argument, will sometimes not worry about having banter or a little bit of a fight in the process. People you will know in the world who are dominant, i.e. in the DISC model, are people like Alan Sugar, Peter Jones, Deborah Meaden from the Dragon's Den, Gordon Ramsay. Whenever they go into a working environment or a situation, they often have things on their mind like time, money, efficiency, productivity. How quickly can we get this done, and how much money can we make in the process? Then you have the inspired character in the DISC model, the friendly people. Well, we like to believe we're friendly. Now, the inspired person is typically someone who likes to do stuff with others. And the more that they can do stuff with others, often the happier they are. They share fun, passion, compassion, and interest. And if you look at my body language, you can see that this is naturally something I gravitate to very well. We smile a lot, we're very friendly, we like to be around people, we're enthusiastic for you, we're enthusiastic to share our ideas and our love for you, and we want you to love us. I-styles, the inspired type, thrive on friendliness, thrive on interest in others, love to be involved in tasks and projects, provided they're fun. And if they're not, they ain't worth doing. So dominant people do stuff that's profitable, time orientated. Inspired people do stuff that's fun and energetic and involves others. So there's the two first versions, the D's and the I's in the DISC model. Then you have the sweet, sensitive types, the S type. Now the S style personality is someone who likes time with you, takes time to share thoughts, ideas. They're friendly, they're into people, they like people just as much as the I style, but the way they express their friendship is very different, very, very different. They're calmer. They will have patience. They will have consideration for you, for others, themselves, and other people. Usually more consideration towards other people than they care about themselves. They take on projects and tasks to help and support. They want you and I and everybody else to be happy around each other. Because if we're happier, we can communicate together better, we're compassionate, we're gentle, we're friendly. They hate any form of conflict, any form of uncertainty, do not particularly enjoy change. They're very, very loyal friends. They may not have lots of friends like the I-styles who just have hundreds of people on Facebook. These people may have a few very close friends. They'll know lots of people, for sure, but they'll have very few close friends, and when you make friends with them, you have friends for life. They're just amazing. At the same time, as dominant people can drive through things, inspired people become excitable, the S's themselves are sincere, are warm, are passionate, are compassionate and kind. The trouble is when you work with them, if they feel uncertainty and they're not sure about things, they become stubborn, resistant. They fear change. They don't like to be changed because it puts them in a position where they're uncertain, and they worry so much about many different things, usually with what to do about how other people are going to feel in situations. Recently, one of the sensitive types was telling me about his daughter who'd bought a birthday card for a friend, and initially the sensitive type's card given to them was one that was going to be of a little piglet. Trouble was, the daughter's girlfriend was actually a little bit on the portly side herself. So as a consequence, the little girl said, "Oh, we can't possibly give this to her because it might upset her." Now, sensitive people think at that level. They look at the world and worry about how other people will feel about them, and they don't want to get upset with others. So we have the dominant, who are charging, get things done. We have the inspired, who are charging and have the fun. We have the sweet, the sensitive type, who are kind, steady, sharing and considerate. And then the fourth group, we have the cautious type. Now, the cautious personality, they have a very interesting approach to the way the world works. They're practical. They're correct. They're organised. They take time to think. They need time to think. They don't jump to a conclusion immediately. They will gather information. They're passionate about a project as much as the dominant styles are, but what their interest is in taking the time to make sure that that project works to plan. There has to be a timetable. There has to be a plan, because without a plan, then mistakes will occur. And this has to be probably the worst thing that can happen. A dominant personality will fear loss. An inspired personality will fear rejection. A sweet personality, a sensitive personality, will fear hurt and disappointment from other people. But a cautious person will fear mistakes. In fact, they're so fearful of mistakes, they will never admit to them. Sure, if they have made a mistake, they'll begrudgingly admit it, but then probably discount that with other factors that cause the problem to occur. It's rare they're wrong. They are actually never wrong. My wife says to me sometimes, "Anthony, you're the boss, but I'm Mrs. Right." Now, with cautious people, they're controlled. They take their time to consider stuff. They take their time to think things through. Emotionally, however, they have emotion, but do not express it in an open way. I find it fascinating when you talk to them, and they are emotional. They have an ability to sometimes take the emotion and put it into a box. And as they put it into a box, it allows them to say to themselves, right, I am emotional, I am upset, but I'm going to deal with this later when I've calmed down. If you're someone who's inspired and sensitive, emotional problems or challenges, they'll affect all of your life. Whereas a cautious person will take the problems and the emotions linked to it and put the emotions into a box and deal with them later. So they don't get emotional in the context that we would experience it as inspired and sensitive people. When dominants get emotional, God, they run you right through. Interesting enough, when they've said their bit and they've done what they've done and they've said what they need to do, they're fine after that. And when you expect an apology, good luck with that one. They won't. They generally won't apologise in a way that's warm and considerate and human, as it were. They'll say something like, "You know what? I made a mistake. I messed up. I'm sorry. Can we get on?" Now, if you're an inspired person or you're a sensitive person, you want them to be gentle and say, "Look, I'm really sorry, love. It would have been, it was my fault, and I regret that." Not a bit of it. They won't say any of that sort of stuff. If you go on a road trip or go on a journey with them, you need to make sure that you get stuff organised, you plan, there's a preparation, and you leave on time. With an inspired type, we're just happy to go wherever everybody else is going, as long as we can have fun on the way. With a sensitive, they'll just follow the flow. And with a cautious type, they'll have a plan, we'll have worked it out, we'll have a pretty much accurate rating of where they're going to go, how they're going to get there, where they're going to stop for breaks, all those different types of things. Now, the point about all of this is when you begin to understand the four character types, and the thing is within each of us, we all have a blend of those four types mixed into our nature, our temperament. Within each of us, we have this blend. When you begin to understand your blend and how that works and what triggers you and what fires you, what enthuses you, what stresses you, it makes life a lot easier for you to understand yourself and the sort of stressor points and the trappings. As conversely, when you understand not just your blend, but the blend of others, What is it that upsets other people? What is it that motivates other people? What is it that helps the different types? Understanding, for example, what fires up a dominant style, what fires an inspired style, what encourages a sensitive style, and what keeps a cautious style most happy. When you start to be able to adjust your approach to based on an understanding of them more subjectively, and objectively rather, it makes your life a goddamn sight easier, I promise you. So, when we talk about chemistry, to work with different types of characters, to live with different types of characters, is all based upon our expectations, driven by the temperament or the style of approach we have, whether we're dominant, inspired, sweet, or cautious. More importantly, in order for you to generate the sufficient levels of oxytocin in the brain and in the body for you to feel combinations of chemical balances that create good rapport and make relationships work better, it's really important for you to be able to understand how these behaviours and psychologies work in different ways. This is very much at the heart of what I do, the teachings I give and the workshops I run. And you'll see in my website, on the website, there's details of a workshop that's coming up on Saturday, November 14th at the Cornerstone Community Centre, which is just right next or right on the corner of Palmyra Square in Hove on Western Road. Very easy to get to. Parking isn't too bad either up there. Starts at 9:45. We'll have coffee, 15 minutes meet and greet, and then start to have some fun. Spend the next sort of 2.5, 3 hours looking at different approaches to the way different people work. You'll get plenty of opportunity to talk to other people in the group and share your ideas and your thought processes with them. Bring a friend, brilliant. Bring few friends, even better, because you'll all have lots of fun together. Some of you will be here to learn quick tips and ideas that get results in your business and your work. Some of you will be here to just share ideas with people and have fun and have a laugh. And some of you will be there just to make sure that the information I'm providing is scientifically proven correct, because there's no point in studying stuff that doesn't work. And some of you will be there just because your friend invited you. Your friend invited you. And it's nice just to it's just nice to hang out. So have a look at the information on the website just down below this page. Take a look at it. If you feel you want to come, brilliant. I'll be very delighted as a friend to welcome you. Share some ideas, share some passion, share some enthusiasm. I mean, what else are you going to do? It's a Saturday morning. Go for breakfast, maybe wash the car, and just stay the way you are. Good luck with that one, hoping the world's going to change. Thank you very much for taking the time to listen to me, and I appreciate your interest. Bye now.